Well, joining me now to talk more about the gaming industry is HB Duran, freelance game marketing and entertainment journalist and an avid gamer herself. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you, Rachelle. Thanks for having me again.
So we're going to start with the old school. Talk about the pandemic's impact on arcade games. Did this close the door on traditional arcades?
It did, but luckily not forever. I believe that nostalgia will play a huge part where people will want to get out there and listen to all those bells and whistles going again and spend a lot of quarters if you're like me. Now, arcades have suffered a lot during the pandemic. There has been a lot of controversy as to what the difference is between arcades that you play for fun and casinos that you play for money. And so it has resulted in a lot of lawsuits and hurt feelings and business owners really struggling to stay afloat. So hopefully there will be a resurgence as people get back onto the streets and all get vaccinated.
And we are seeing something of a hybrid. I mean, you used to go to an arcade and the games were the priority and then the food was the afterthought. But now you have these bars and restaurants where that's the priority and they're now including arcades as part of their strategy. What sort of success has that sort of model seen?
You know, I've seen, quite a bit of that become more popular, just like movie theaters have adopted that model. They are attracting millennials and nostalgic people from Gen X like me that grew up during the 80s, and people who want to enjoy an arcade while they eat. Maybe you go out for a date or a night with your friends to go get something to eat or a drink, and then you see an arcade game you used to play all the time, or you want to challenge somebody. Or like me, I challenged my dad to Galaga. Don't ever do that. Um, but people are really enjoying that combination where they may not think, hey, let's go out to the arcade, but they might think, hey, let's go out to the bar or the restaurant or the movie theater. And it seems to be working quite well.
And one of the most well-known producers, Sega, sold off a good chunk of its arcade business. So who are the remaining players that are dominating the arcade space?
Well, they did sell quite a bit of it to Genda, which is still a huge player in Japan. So we won't see the last of Sega. Supposedly, they are going to continue to mark the games as Sega and keep that branding because of name familiarity. But we still have the big names like Bandai Namco and Midway and Konami. They are still making those games and releasing them. Konami still has Dance Dance Revolution, which is a huge hit worldwide and continues to have a new game every year. So I think that while things have slowed down, I think that there will be a resurgence due to nostalgia and just cabin fever.
Indeed. So then as we fast forward then to video and computer games, which got a major boost during lockdowns, just how much has this industry grown and really evolved during the pandemic?
You know, it has grown quite a bit, as your segment mentioned. Sales grew enormously, but digital is really where we saw the biggest surge for obvious reasons. People were at home. Maybe you didn't want to go to the store to pick up a game or have one delivered when you could just jump on your PC or your console and order it in about 2 seconds. So 91% of game revenue in 2020 was from digital sales, and it did grow $30 billion because of this. So that's where we saw a lot of resurgence. And then, of course, it was a year both convenient and inconvenient for console releases. So we saw some delays due to the pandemic causing manufacturing delays, but we also saw huge amounts of sales for PS5 and the Nintendo Switch.
So then as we talk about demographics then, who's really been driving the demand for gaming and have there been any surprising trends?
There have been some surprising trends. There have been what they would consider seniors jumping on board. The most recent data shows that the average gamer is actually 35. So when people think of the teenage boy in the basement playing Call of Duty, it's actually a wide range of customers. And older gamers, for nostalgia reasons, for boredom reasons, for connecting with their friends reasons, have all jumped on video games as a way to connect and just feel entertained, feel good in a stressful time.
So then as we just quickly talk about devices and games, Sony PlayStation 5 was all the rage during the holiday season. Did it live up to the hype, and what else are you excited about that's coming up?
Well, PS5 is the fastest selling. I do hope to get my hands on one. They sell out before I can even blink. But from what I've heard from colleagues, it does live up to the hype. It has been a lot of fun, especially as we move into 4K. I'm looking forward to PlayStation's next generation VR. It's supposed to be less nausea-inducing and have better graphics. So I'm looking forward to the future when I can jump into a virtual world with some friends.
Exciting stuff. Well, maybe I'll see you on there. Thank you so much.
Thank
HP
you.
Duran there, freelance game marketing and entertainment journalist.